Hey, basketball fans, welcome back to Tips and Streams, your go-to spot for the hottest NBA regular season predictions. I'm Kokan, and I'm here to break down today's matchups and give you the edge you need to make the best bets. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video. Your support means the world to us. Remember, our channel has no sponsors and relies solely on the love and support of viewers like you. Even a small donation by pressing the thanks button under the video helps us keep bringing you top-notch content every day. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and fellow basketball enthusiasts. And we love hearing from you, so drop a comment below and let us know what you want to see in our forecasts. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you the content you crave. Let's jump right into today's NBA predictions. We've got some exciting games lined up, so stay tuned and let's get that winning streak going. Today we have predictions for 4 NBA games. The first prediction for today is for a game between the Detroit Pistons and New York Knicks. The Knicks and Pistons are gearing up for another clash, and I can't wait to see how this one unfolds. Historically, New York has dominated this matchup, leading the all-time series 222-177. But let's not ignore the recent twist in the tale. Detroit stunned everyone by ending a 16-game losing streak to the Knicks with an impressive 120-111 win at Madison Square Garden earlier this season. That's not something you forget overnight, especially if you're the Knicks. Detroit has been a surprise package this season. They've already racked up 6 more wins than last year, and they're sitting in the 8th spot in the Eastern Conference. Honestly, it's been fun watching this young squad play with so much grit and determination. Cade Cunningham has been leading the charge, and his 29-point outing against the Knicks in that earlier win was nothing short of spectacular. When you've got guys like Malik Beasley dropping 23 off the bench and the whole starting 5 chipping in with double figures, you know this team isn't here to mess around. They shot lights out that game, over 51% from the field and 50% from deep. Winning the rebounding battle and keeping the Knicks' 3-point shooting in check sealed the deal. But let's not kid ourselves, the Knicks weren't at full strength in that loss. Karl Anthony Towns didn't play, and his presence changes everything. The guy's a walking double-double and the engine of this team. With him back in the mix, Detroit's going to have their hands full. Tobias Harris and Ausar Thompson better be ready to bring the hustle because controlling the boards is non-negotiable. New York, sitting pretty in 3rd place in the East, just sent a message to the league with that blowout win over Milwaukee. Beating the Bucks 140-106 is no small feat, and Jalen Brunson was absolutely on fire with 44 points. Towns, OG Anunoby, and Mikal Bridges all did their part, and the Knicks looked like a team that could beat anyone when they're locked in. But here's the catch, this game comes on the second night of a back-to-back. Fatigue could be a factor, especially with the starters logging heavy minutes in that Milwaukee game. It's something to keep an eye on. When these two teams played earlier this season, the Knicks were relentless. They forced turnovers, controlled the boards, and knocked down their shots with precision. That's the formula they'll need to replicate, especially with Detroit coming in rested and hungry. On the flip side, the Pistons need to dictate the pace and lock down defensively. If Cunningham can lead the charge and they can limit New York's 3-point shooting, they've got a shot to make this interesting. As much as I love what Detroit is doing this season, I've got to say it's a tall order to win outright at MSG again. That said, catching 8 points in a spread feels like a solid play. The Pistons have shown they can hang with the Knicks, and they've been excellent as road underdogs. I'm rolling with Detroit to keep this one close and cover the spread. This team has heart, and I wouldn't be surprised if they give New York all they can handle once again. Let's see how it plays out under the bright lights of the Garden.
Welcome to BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino, your ultimate hub for secure and thrilling sports betting and casino gaming. BetUS is one of the oldest and most reliable online sportsbooks in the U.S., serving millions of clients all over the globe each month. BetUS, trusted for over 30 years, offers huge welcome bonuses, countless betting options, and many deposit and payout methods. Depositing funds is a breeze and safe, with a minimum deposit of just $10. Payouts are fast and hassle-free, beginning at only $50. Choose from various payout options like MoneyGram, couriered check, cryptocurrency, or bank wire. Signing up is quick and easy. For signing up, you can use the link in the description and enjoy a generous 125% welcome bonus of up to $3,000. By signing up using the link in the description, you'll also support us as we earn a small commission from your registration at BetUS. Thank you for supporting us. Join now and start winning.
The second prediction for today is for a game between the Memphis Grizzlies and Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets and Memphis Grizzlies are gearing up for another showdown, and this one feels like it could go down to the wire. The Rockets have been the thorn in Memphis' side this season, taking both of their earlier meetings, but something tells me the Grizzlies might be ready to flip the script. Houston's quick starts have been the difference maker, especially in that last game where they exploded for a ridiculous 45 points in the first quarter. That kind of early momentum is hard to overcome, and Memphis knows they can't afford to dig themselves into another hole like that. What's been impressive about the Rockets this season is their defensive edge. They've quietly built one of the best defenses in the league, and it's no fluke. They're allowing just over 108 points per 100 possessions, which keeps them in every game, no matter how their offense is clicking. Alperen Sengun has been nothing short of a revelation against the Grizzlies. His paint presence is a problem, and his numbers, 24 points and 14.5 boards per game in this matchup, speak for themselves. Add in Jalen Green's explosive scoring and Fred VanVleet's steady hand, and you've got a trio that's tough to crack. But here's the thing. As good as Houston has been, their three-point shooting still raises some red flags. They're near the bottom of the league in that category, which can be a major issue if Memphis decides to tighten up their perimeter defense. For Memphis, it's all about adjustments. Ja Morant is starting to look like his old self again, and you can see the impact he has on this team. He's their spark, their closer, their everything when the game is on the line. That game-winning floater against Minnesota showed just how much they've missed him. Still, turnovers are killing them, plain and simple. They're coughing up the balls 17 times a night on average, and against a team like Houston that thrives on forcing mistakes, that's a recipe for disaster. Jaren Jackson Jr. and Desmond Bane have been steady, but they need more help. Memphis can't rely on Morant to do all the heavy lifting, especially against a Rockets team that's shown they can clamp down defensively. What worries me is how easily they've been giving up early leads. Letting Houston drop 45 in the first quarter? That's just not going to cut it. They've got to lock in defensively from the tip, or this one could get away from them again. One thing that could swing this game Memphis' way is their resilience. They've been one of the best teams in the league at bouncing back after a loss, and they're 12-2 against the spread in those spots this season. That kind of grit makes me think they're not going to roll over in this one. On the other hand, Houston has been a beast at home, covering the spread in 11 of 19 games there this year. It feels like a classic revenge game scenario for the Grizzlies. They've dropped 2 to Houston already, and there's no way a team with this much talent is okay with that. If Morant can lead the charge, limit the turnovers, and get some help from his supporting cast, Memphis should at least keep this one close. Houston might still be riding high, but the unexpected delay with the Atlanta game could throw them off just enough for the Grizzlies to capitalize. I've got a feeling Memphis is going to cover that 3-point spread. Sure, Houston has had their number lately, but this just feels like the kind of game where the Grizzlies find a way to show up. They've got too much pride to let the Rockets sweep them, and with Ja getting back to his usual form, I think they'll make this one interesting. Let's see if they can finally turn things around. Before we move on, I have a quick favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing might seem like a small action, but it actually makes a big impact for us. Plus, it's completely free for you. Have you clicked that subscribe button? Awesome, thank you so much for your support. Now let's dive back into the video. The third prediction for today is for a game between the Miami Heat and Los Angeles Clippers. The Miami Heat roll into Los Angeles riding high on a 3-game winning streak, and they've got their sights set on keeping the good vibes going against the Clippers. Fresh off a 119-98 blowout win over Portland, Miami's been handling business, even with all the noise surrounding Jimmy Butler's suspension and trade rumors. It's been Tyler Herro stepping up as the main guy, and let me tell you, this dude has been lights out. He's dropped 20 or more in 7 of their last 10 games, and looks like he's ready to carry this team on his back if that's what it takes. Without Butler, Herro's got the ultimate green light, and he's making it count. But it's not just him. The Heat's depth is showing up big time. Nikola Jovic has been a revelation lately, and his growth on both ends of the floor has been fun to watch. He's had a couple of 20-point games in his last 3 outings, which is a huge lift for a team that prides itself on grinding it out defensively. Throw in solid efforts from Jamie Jaquez Jr. and Terry Rozier, and this Heat squad isn't rolling over for anyone. They've got that gritty, defensive identity we've come to expect from them, and they'll need every ounce of it to hang with the Clippers. On the flip side, the Clippers are coming into this one after a bit of a rough patch. They've dropped 2 straight, including a 126-103 beat down from the Nuggets, but they've had 4 full days to rest and reset. That's a rare luxury in the grind of an NBA season, and you know they're going to come out with fresh legs and something to prove. Kawhi Leonard is back in the mix, and while they haven't found their groove with him just yet, you can't count out a team with his pedigree. He'll be looking for his first win since his return, and there's no better place to make that happen than at home. The Clippers' offense has been a bit of a question mark this season, but Norman Powell has been holding it down. The guy dropped 30 in their last game, and if he gets going again, it could be a long night for Miami. Plus, Ivica Zubac is primed to be a problem in the paint. The Heat's undersized interior is going to have its hands full trying to keep him off the boards, and if Zubac can dominate the glass, the Clippers should control the tempo. Miami's road trip has been impressive, no doubt. Winning on the road in the NBA is no small feat, and they've been punching above their weight. But let's be real, 5 straight games away from home is brutal, and fatigue could start to creep in. The Clippers, meanwhile, are sitting pretty with a strong home record and a knack for covering the spread as favorites. This just feels like the spot for them to bounce back. I've got the Clippers taking this one and covering the 5-point spread. They're rested, they're motivated, and they've got the tools to take advantage of Miami's weaknesses. Kawhi, Zubac, and Powell should be the difference makers in what might not be the prettiest game, but sometimes you've got to appreciate the grind. Clippers get the W and right the ship. The fourth prediction for today is for a game between the San Antonio Spurs and Los Angeles Lakers. Alright, let's dive into this matchup between the Lakers and Spurs, and let me tell you, there's a lot to unpack here. The Lakers have been owning this series lately, taking both games in San Antonio earlier this season. They've had the Spurs number in recent years, winning 8 of the last 10 matchups, and if we're being real, it's no accident. When LeBron and AD are clicking, they're tough to handle, and the Spurs just haven't found the recipe to stop them. Now, Wembanyama, man, this rookie is something else. He's putting up monster numbers, 25.1 points and 10.8 boards a game. Against the Lakers, he's shown flashes of brilliance with 24 points and 12 rebounds on average, but he's got to clean up those turnovers. 9 in 2 games? That's giving the Lakers free possessions, and against a team like this, you can't afford to do that. He's young, though, and you can see the raw talent that makes him such a game changer. The Spurs have some other pieces too. Devin Vassell can light it up when he gets going, and he's been pretty efficient, shooting nearly 48% against the Lakers this season. But let's be honest, San Antonio needs more from guys like Jeremy Sochan and Keldon Johnson. Sochan's been banged up, and Johnson hasn't really found his rhythm against LA. If they want to make this a game, these two have to step up big time and take some pressure off Wembanyama. On the Lakers side, it's all about their big guns. AD has been an absolute beast, dropping nearly 30 a game against the Spurs this season and dominating the glass. That 40-point game he had in November? Unreal. And then there's LeBron, still putting up triple-doubles like it's no big deal. The guy's a walking highlight reel, and his leadership on the court is what makes this team tick. Throw in Austin Reeves, who's been steady as ever, and rookie Dalton Knecht, who surprisingly played some of his best ball against San Antonio, and you've got a squad that's tough to beat when they're on. Defense and rebounding are going to be the name of the game here. The Spurs got worked on the boards by the Bucks, and if they don't crash the glass hard against the Lakers, it's going to be a long night. Meanwhile, LA has to find a way to contain Wembanyama without letting Vassell or anyone else get hot. It's a balancing act, but with the way they've handled San Antonio so far, you gotta like their chances. One thing to keep in mind is the wildfires in LA. It's been a tough week for the city, and that kind of off-court stuff can weigh on players. The Lakers already had to postpone a game because of it, and while they're pros, it wouldn't be shocking if the emotional toll showed up in their play. That said, both teams are dealing with their own challenges. The Spurs are hanging onto their play in hopes by a thread, and the Lakers need to keep stacking wins to stay in a solid playoff spot. There's no room for excuses. When it's all said and done, I think this one's going to be a grind. Both teams have leaned toward defensive battles lately, and with some question marks around guys like LeBron and Sachin, I'm not expecting a shootout. The total is set at 224, but I don't see it getting there. I'm thinking something in the range of 215, a hard-fought game that stays under. That's where my money's going, give me the under. Let's see how it plays out.